Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. Should Sky News really be platforming people who want to kill children? Like, I know free speech and all that, but if you're going to invite somebody onto your news show and allow them to say things that you know are justifications for killing children. In fact, Sky News today published a report that shows that Israel has been killing whole families, and UNICEF puts the number of murdered children in Gaza at 50,000. Then it is your job as a news organization to, at the very least, push back on what you know to be genocidal propaganda. Because for the last 2 years, we've seen the Israeli government put out propaganda that implies that everybody in Gaza, not just Hamas, is responsible for October 7th. That's how they justify killing 80,000 people. So when you as a news organization invite the ex-editor of the Jerusalem Post, Yaakov Katz, and he starts implying that even school children are part of the problem, you should be pushing back on that hard.
I think that what October 7th does show us, and a lot of people have been warning about this, but for example, for me, it was also something of a wake-up call. What it shows is that this culture of death, this education that teaches radicalism, extremism, and teaches a hatred of the Jewish person and the Israeli person that takes place in the Gaza Strip, as well as in the West Bank, in the schools of the Palestinian Authority, on the streets of Gaza, in the newspapers of the Palestinian Authority and society. Until that changes, until there is a real de-radicalization process, we won't be able to move forward with the two-state solution. I think that what we saw in the aftermath, for example, of World War II, when Germany de-radicalized, when Japan de-radicalized, understanding that it was in their interest to move towards the West, to embrace the values that they had tried to destroy and fight against, only then can there be real peace.
Look, I'm not trying to spin you here. I'm taking his words and showing you what they actually mean. He says only then can there be real peace. And the not peace he's talking about is Israel bombing Gaza. So his rationale is that because children in Gaza are taught to hate Israel, that justifies Israel in bombing Gaza, killing 50,000 children. Because according to him, the Israeli government are the good guys in this.
Israel has shown time after time that it wants to end this war, it wants a ceasefire.
So he's not just calling it as he sees it, he's defending Israel's actions, saying that they're trying their best to deliver peace. But let's break down that logic just a little bit more, because he's saying that Israel will have to keep bombing Gaza until children in Gaza have a better opinion of Israel, which speaks to the fundamental flaw in the propaganda that Israel has been putting out since day one. Because for the last 2 years, Israel has been saying that they have to attack Gaza because they have to go after Hamas, because they cannot tolerate people in Gaza who want to destroy Israel. So given that the Israeli government has spent the last 2 years bombing Gaza into oblivion, destroying most of the homes, displacing over 2 million people and killing tens of thousands of civilians of Gaza, do you think as a result of the Israeli government's actions, the percentage of the Gazan population that wants to destroy Israel has gone up or down? Do you think that bombing a population for 2 years makes them more likely to love you?
Not a great plan.
Like the children in Gaza right now, all they have ever known is Israel raining hell down on them from above, watching their friends and family members be dismembered by Israeli weapons, starving for months on end, running to try and get some food, and then being shot by Israeli soldiers, which they have themselves admitted to. So for Yaakov Katz to sit there on Sky News and effectively say, we won't stop bombing those kids until they love us, and Sky News to not push back on that narrative at all, is insane to me. And he used the example that we needed to de-radicalize Germany before they could be allowed back out into polite society. My friend, you are Germany. You are holding the people of Gaza in what most human rights organizations describe as an open-air prison, and you are killing them inside that prison. It would be the equivalent of 1930s Germany saying that we can't let these people out of the concentration camps because they all hate us so much. We're doing our best. To see, anybody who's been paying attention to the crisis of Israel and Palestine understands that oppression breeds extremism. Between 1987 and 2021, there were 14,000 deaths in that crisis, and 87% of them were Palestinian. And again, the people of Palestine were kept in an open-air prison. It is under those circumstances that an extremist government that wants to destroy Israel was born. Which is what makes Starmer's statement that he's only going to recognize Palestine as a state if Israel keeps bombing them kind of weird. Because in terms of the people of Palestine, that means they're either going to be denied the basic human right of self-determination, i.e. statehood, or they're going to be denied the right to life. And even if they are given the right of statehood, Israel's going to keep bombing them. So under Starmer's plan, the oppression of the people of Gaza will continue either way, which will inevitably lead to more extremism, and therefore people like Yaakov Katz will then go on TV again and say, yeah, that's why we have to bomb children. And Sky News will just sit there and smile. I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.